So, hello.
Hello, everyone.
I am Zero Score.
I am Harvey.
And he's Harvey.
Blue
yeah.
Harvey. Whatever you prefer.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the remaster of Final Fantasy XII we're going to speed showcase today. Or should I say Zero is going to showcase it today. As you can see, we had a little bid war going on. Japanese versus English, and Japanese won by $5 over English. Yeah, so we choose Japanese unless someone is gonna snipe it in the last couple of seconds, but I don't think that is going to happen.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Well, I am, yeah.
Okay.
So who's the timer?
Are we starting now? Okay.
Okay.
So, do you want to do the countdown?
For sure.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Let's go. So this is the remaster of the original Final Fantasy XII that released back in 2006 on the PlayStation 2, which this game allows us to run us at the 4x speed, and this is something that we are going to use pretty much for the entirety of the run. We try to run at 4x speed as much as possible. So menuing and fighting gets pretty tight and pretty intense.
And movement.
Yeah, a lot of wall bumping.
Yeah, so we start here as a Rex. This is like a tutorial segment, or small tutorial kind of thing. Teaches you the basics of the game, or basics of the battle, really. So there's a boss coming up right now, but he's just a really easy boss. But first I'm gonna do a menu.
So what he just did there is put the cursor on last selection, meaning he doesn't have to go back to what he last selected. And because if he doesn't do it on last selection, his cursor will always be automatically on attack, and you don't really want that, because that would mean you have to do a lot of micromanagement, even more than you should need to do.
Yeah. And that first boss there was Erkadori Mora. He's weak to Thunder, so I just used Thunder to kill him as long as I had MP. After I ran out of MP, I switched to regular attacks.
So the next fight coming up is the guards fight. As if you have played the international version from Final Fantasy XII, which only released in Japan, you know that the single target spells like Blizzard, Fire, and Thunder had multi-target attacks. However, they changed that in TCA, so we are using normal attacks again.
So here, I had to kill those 3 guards to advance to open that door. I tried to lure them as close to the door as possible, but it's kind of hard to do in 4x speed, so... Oh, also, I'm playing for the first time ever, so I'm getting trophies.
The next little fight coming up is rats, very RNG dependent. They're running around everywhere in the place, so they can really troll you a lot if they want to run away, or be as nice and just run towards you.
Yeah, killing 3 rats and then moving on.
Yeah.
Just 2 attacks to kill each. And now we start progressing story a little bit, but... so we start in Rabanastre, and we have a new character called Vaughn.
Who's that?
So we're controlling him and just moving through things. Moving in Rabanastre is kind of hard because NPCs tend to get in your way.
Especially on 4x speed.
Yeah, on 4x speed. But yeah, we'll get through it. And we get to the Sensi. where we learn about two things, hunts and licenses. Hunts are a big side quest thing in FF12, and there are 45 hunts in the game. We only have to do this first one for the story, but the rest are skipped in any percent. And the other thing we're going to learn is the licenses. So, do you want to explain licenses, Harvey?
So yeah, how the licenses work in this game is it's the way FF12 progresses in terms of how you can develop your characters, how you can make them stronger. You have accessories, weapons, armor, even spells that lie behind licenses that you need to unlock so you can use certain weapons, accessories, and licenses. Meaning, let's say if we need weapon, a broadsword, we got a license that broadsword license on the license board before we can actually use it. Every enemy in the game normally gives us 1 LP, except rare games, hunts, and bosses, and etc. They can deviate the amount of licenses they give. For example, Rogue Tomato is giving 3 licenses, right?
Yes, Rogue Tomato is this next fight, or the first hunt we're gonna kill, and he has 2 phases. Both take 3 hits to kill. So we do the 3 hits, then he jumps down, and then we have to go down to get him.
What's interesting about Rogue Tomato is that even though you're killing, quote-unquote, killing him just once, and he has 2 phases, you get licenses for both phases in the run.
Yeah, so both of you get 3 LP once he jumps down, and 3 LP after you actually kill him. So that's interesting, and a lot of bosses that have multiple phases work like that.
So now we're running back because with that little fetch quest to kill Rogue Tomato, and with that said, Vaughn wants to ask Dallin in the Lowtown of Rabanastre what to do next. And that's where we're heading next, the Lowtown.
Yeah, we want to sneak into the palace to get some treasure back to the Dalmascans or something. It's story, who cares?
Who needs story? It's a speedrun.
Exactly. Gotta go fast. Don't have time. Don't have no time for any story. Yeah, Dallin is in Lowtown. We have to go and speak to him, and he will tell us that we need a stone to charge another stone that will reveal the way to the treasury. So we need to go get the Sunstone.
Sunstone is conveniently in Giza Plains, and the exit to Giza Plains is conveniently to the right side to where we're facing right now.
Yes.
So it's a very, very short path we have to take.
And yeah, as you can see, the game is only 4 times speed when you have control over your characters. So whenever there's like small cutscene or something, the game slows down to normal speed. So we go to south, or Giza Plains, to get the Sunstone. We talk to the villagers to get one, and we learn that the kids are missing, or the kid who's in charge of the Sunstones is missing.
And by doing that, we get Penelo as a party member.
Oh yeah, more party members.
But not for long. She will leave us soon again.
Yeah.
She's giving us a brief introduction to Gambits, but the game will dive into that a little bit later, a little bit more in detail.
Yeah. We will talk about Gambits when they are relevant.
Yeah. At the moment, it's just the thing that you can turn on and off.
Yeah. So the next thing is trial mode. Do you want to explain what the trial mode is?
Oh yeah, so trial mode is something exclusive to the international version and the Zodiac Age for Final Fantasy XII, which allows you to face 100 stages of challenges that have quote-unquote never been seen before in the West for Final Fantasy players, and we can face them in the Zodiac Age and defeat those enemies and grab the chests. What in the international version was not possible, but is now possible in Zodiac Age, is that every kill and every item you get within trials up to trials 99, you can take with you into the normal playthrough. As you just saw, Zero took a diamond armor from the first stage and is taking it with him into the actual game. And he's using that later for getting a lot of money, because diamond armor is 6k?
Yeah, it sells for 6,000 McGill.
We need 6k gil for Phoenix Downs later on, because every RPG needs a grinding session, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we're gonna be getting a level soon, because in FF12 the boss fights don't give EXP at all. So if you just went through and fought only boss fights, you would never level up, and that would be a big problem, because then killing bosses would get incredibly slow. So that's why we're going to have to do some level grinding, unfortunately. But it's okay. It's also a cool trick to use.
So this is a little minigame.
Yeah.
Excuse me for interrupting. So this is a little minigame. It's the crystal minigame, and this game can, like, you have up to 4 crystals. Usually it's about 2 to 3 crystals. So every crystal gives you a certain percentage of energy that you can have. And as soon as that energy reaches 100%, there's a little cutscene that sends you back to the little boy, who will then go back to the village, and then you get a little reward, and so on and so on.
Yeah. But I'm taking a detour here to get those Phoenix Downs, because this is the only shop that sells Phoenix Downs at this point in the game.
Exactly.
I'm leaving a little bit money, so I can buy a spell called Dark later.
Dark is pretty strong for the point when you get it. It's pretty incredibly strong. It's Dark is an AoE spell, and you will see soon why AoE spells in this game are really broken and really good.
Yes. So I got a really good roll here with the second crystal, which means that I'm guaranteed to get get this stone charged with 3 crystals, which is nice.
To explain about the crystals is, every crystal can give you a percentage between 25 and 55. It's not possible to go lower or higher. So having a 45 and 55 would mean you would end up with a 2 crystal, while having 25 and 25 and 25 would mean you would have to get a 4th crystal to give the last 25%, which luckily not has happened yet, that you get 25 back to back, but 4 crystals happen more often than they should.
Yeah, the percentages are about 10% to get 4 crystal, and about 7% to get 2 crystal, and then about 83% chance to get 3 crystal, like I did. So it's definitely the most common one to get, but sometimes you can get lucky or unlucky.
So right here we're gonna do our first very small shopping menu, which is going to buy Dark. And right after
Second shop. I already bought the Phoenix Downs.
Second shop. Yeah. Yeah, and right after this we head to the Giza Plains. We head to the Giza Plains, so...
Or you mean the Western Sun?
Yeah, thank you. I mixed up places. We head to the Western Sun to kill a rare game that probably everyone is familiar with who has played Final Fantasy XII more than just a little bit, and that rare game is called Dustia. That rare game spawns in Western Sun only if you have if your current HP is lower than 10% of your max health. So we hit ourselves into less than 10% HP, get Dustia to spawn, and because Dustia is an undead enemy, we use Phoenix down on Dustia, so we can kill it instantly, which is around 1000 EXP per kill, which at level 1 is a lot of EXP. Also, I want to excuse me because I'm losing my voice a little. Yeah, I hope it's not too bad. We have to get rid of Penelo for that, so she won't steal us our EXP. So we're going to defeat 34 Dustios, so Vaughn will end up at level 18. So this would be a perfect time for either donations or anything else.
Adirheart donated $10, Japanese language sugoi. Cadaminimal donated $50, really excited for this run, FFXII is one of my favorite Star Wars games. Let's hit the judges fight incentive.
Yeah, let's go for the judges incentive. Oh, I forgot to talk about that. We have an incentive that kills the 5 judges that I've talked about, the 100th trial that we can't take the items with us. And since a lot of people said, hey, they're really hard, you're gonna show how you can cheese them in just a couple of attacks. Oh, you can still keep going.
Yeah. So if you're paying attention really closely, you can see that I'm doing a little trick to make this go a tiny bit faster. So I can't do the inputs fast enough on 4 times speed, but I can, while the animation is going, I can very briefly make the game go 4 times speed by pressing L1, like pressing L1 twice, so to save a little bit of frames.
As you saw a couple of seconds ago, Zero dropped the Flame Staff. In this category, Flame Staffs are not used at all and not useful at all, so they're just good for money. But in most likely in every other category of Final Fantasy XII, except 80% Zodiac Age, Flame Staffs are mandatory and very, very useful and very, very needed. But in this category, it's not really needed. Talking about category, you might not know what Seitengrat means or what a Seitengrat is. So, Seitengrat is one of the 3 equipable items in the game, which
invisible
are
items.
Invisible items, yeah. Oh, we would do it after the run.
It would be after the run.
It would be after the run. So, a lot. So yeah,
Oh yeah, the judges in the incentive would be after the run.
Yeah. So Seitengrat is one of the invisible weapons, alongside Great Triangle or Triangle Tower in the international version of Zodiac Age, Final Fantasy XII, and Gendarm. Gendarm is a shield that's incredibly broken. I don't remember the exact stats. Triangle Tower or Great Triangle is an invisible one-handed sword that has the power of 153 attack, which is incredibly broken. But Seitengrat is even more broken. Seitengrat is a bow that has an attack power of 224. It has double drawing speed. It has 25% crit rate and 75% block rate. I think it was that, yeah.
Yep.
I get the percentages sometimes mixed up.
And a huge range.
And like double range from the best bow in the game.
Something like that.
It's incredible. And on top of that, neither of all these invisible items, they don't need licenses at all. They're extremely broken. That's why we made a separate category, just not allowing Seitengrat because it's just way too broken.
So what you saw me do there is that I got a heal from a drop for picking up a drop, and that put me to above 10% of my maximum HP, so I had to punch myself to get my HP back to below 10% to spawn Dustia again. It happens sometimes, usually like a couple of times per Dustia, but it's annoying and wastes a little bit of time when it happens.
That's some really good Duster Dumps you had so far.
We have 7 more Destia to go, and then we can move on and get a little bit more action.
Yeah. That's gonna be the only grind for quite a long while from now. Luckily. So this skill is basically needed to get your standard armor and weapons you need for later on. And moreover, basically spells.
Yeah, some magics and armor and stuff. Until we get to our Gil grind, I would say.
Oh yeah, and for people wondering, no, we're not getting the Zodiac Spear.
I got scared there for a second.
Yeah.
If Van had comboed there, he would have killed himself.
Yeah, that would have not been good.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been too big of a deal because there's an autosave. Like, you can see the icon right now on the screen. But I would have lost the chain, although that's not big deal at all since
we were already at
like
30,
money
32 kills.
Money is fairly trivial in this category.
Yeah. So that is the last Dusty of the run.
And I'm potioning so this wolf doesn't kill me.
This guy is notorious for killing runs if you don't potion.
Yeah, although here's an autosave, so it doesn't really matter, but it would waste a lot of time if I got killed by him.
Alright, so the next part is Rabanastre Palace.
Yes.
We enter... yeah, go ahead.
So we're heading now to Garamsaif Waterway, where we are to the Royal Palace through Garamsaif Waterway, so technically sewers. So first we're gonna say bye to Penelo. We will see Penelo later, but she will leave our party for now. And we will talk to Old Dallin, who will give us the Crescent Stone. To aid us to treasure. Guess what more could a Sky Pirate want?
And from here we take our path to the Garamsaif. The Garamsaif is the only way that we currently have access to the Rabanastre Palace, so we'll sneak from underneath.
Yeah, so Kite here tells a little bit of a joke. You probably didn't have time to read it, but he said that, oh yeah, there's just one more item you have to fetch quest, and like just to troll the player. But there's actually he's just kidding, and he opens the door for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm just running past all the enemies. In Garamsaif, the battle speed is still on slow, so they don't really have time to hit me. But also by doing Destia, I leveled up to 18, and I leveled up to 18, and these enemies here are around level, I would like to say 5, 8. Between 5 and 8, I would like to say.
For this part of the run, we're basically kind of over-leveled, just a little bit.
We are a lot over-leveled. Not just kinda. I got a little bit unlucky there, and there was a rare spawn called Razorfin. He used an attack on me, which poisoned me, which is kind of annoying, but shouldn't be a big of a deal. I have so much HP that these enemies are not dealing enough damage to hurt me at all.
So that chest that Zero just picked up is an elixir. In the original version of Final Fantasy XII, that would have killed your chance to get any Zodiac Spear in the neck roll of Nabades. So you don't want to do that if you play on the PS2. However, on PS4 or any other Zodiac Age version, it's fine because the Zodiac Spear does not appear in neck roll of Nabades at all. It only appears in the Henna Mines. So this is the little guard minigame. And we basically have to lure the guards into a corner so they will not catch us so we can advance into the story.
Yeah, you call the guards and just run away. The hardest part is actually to in 4th speed the hardest. Oh, I didn't catch them. I wasn't close enough to them, so I had to go and shoot again. But the guards that are just standing over there, they are the hardest ones to avoid on 4th speed. But you know, it's easy enough to get past them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used the Crescent Stone to enter the palace, or enter the treasury. And we find our next party members there. Come on. This game has a lot of like little switches and stuff that you have to press, and they are somewhat sensitive, so on 4th speed you sometimes are a little bit too much to the right, and then if you try to fix your position, you easily go too much to the left, and then you have to do it again, and it can get really annoying.
Just so it said, 4 times speed handling like $0 is really not that easy. So he's doing it really, really well. 4 times speed, keeping it on all the time is really difficult. Especially not bumping into walls all the time, it's incredibly difficult. Especially because PS4 has, over PS2, the smallest but almost not noticeable input delay. But if you have played Final Fantasy XII for a long time, like the two of us had, you can probably feel it, but it's not that huge of a deal. But in 4 times speed, it can make a big of a difference. So now, here Balfour and Fran joins, and they both talk to you and say, hey, we have something that you don't. That's the Gambit system.
Yeah.
So talk about the Gambit system. So
Gambit system, it's basically like programming your own AI. So here, for example, you can set up so that Balfour will use a potion anytime someone is hurt, or you can set up Gambit where Balfour uses potion whenever some ally's HP goes below 70%. And then if there are no target, he would use attack on the nearest visible enemy with this Gambit setup. And he's explaining like how you can change your you can change the order, so now he would attack first, and if there are no enemies around, then he would use the potions if there's allies whose HP are less than 70%. So part of the fun of this game is to just make your own AI to do stuff for you, so you don't have to. It's very pleasing to see just run around and let your party members do the work. But if you like to do everything manually, that works. That's you can do that too. You can turn off all the gambits so you don't have to use them if you dislike them. But yeah, now the first menu of the game, really. I'm gonna set the battle speed back up to fastest, and now we're gonna do licenses, and we're getting our first jobs. Do you mind explaining the job system?
Oh yeah, so in the Zodiac Age and the international version, we are introduced to the job system, which is something completely different than what new guys have seen in the original Final Fantasy XII that released on PS2. Because here it navigates what kind of spells, accessories, weapons, etc. what you can get and buy for your characters. Well, in the original, you were literally able to get everything. Here you just have to choose, okay, what do you want to get? And you have to take that for the rest of the playthrough. Except for the new Switch and Xbox versions, they have the feature to reset jobs at Mont Blanc, but PS4 does not have that feature, nor does PC.
Yeah. So I set up every one of the 3 characters I have currently. I set them all to Red Battle Mage, and Red Battle Mage just because it has Dark, and as you could probably see in the fight, Dark is really powerful.
Dark is kind of overpowered for that point of the game.
Yes. Like, I don't know why they made the decision to give Dark this early in the game. Like, it's not available this early in the PS2 version.
I love how even the devs said that in the PS2 you kind of get overpowered because you have the entire license board for you. But I kind of think you get more overpowered in the Zodiac Age, even though you're limited. because you can do over 10k. You can. The damage cap is just removed, I think. It doesn't cap, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And you can just deal so much more damage. In Manila, it just caps at 9,999.
Yeah, here's a next boss called Firemane, and Firemane is really annoying in PS2 version, but Dark just completely obliterates him.
Yeah. Fireman likes to teleport a lot, and you're not a huge fan of that. Because while enemies who can teleport and get attacked while they're doing their teleport animation, they don't get any damage at all. That's even the same thing for Dust, yeah. That's why we usually have to wait. And let's say if Dustia were to teleport again, but just at a different place, and you would use Phoenix down too fast while in teleport animation, Dustia would not die if you're doing it too fast, because during the teleport animation, the enemies get invincible and don't take any damage whatsoever, yeah, which is pretty annoying. And yeah, and we used to kind of kite Fireman into the water, because Fireman takes more damage into the water than it does on land. Oh, and that's Sakusa, by the way.
Yeah, the prison fight, it's meant to have be a tough fight because you're removed of all your armor and stuff. But we still have our magic, so we can just kill them with magic. So it's no problem. Oh. Here I'm picking up a Tourmaline Ring. Tourmaline Ring it gives you immunity to poison, but in the Zodiac versions, it also gives you resistance to ice magic or ice element, and that's gonna be very useful against against the boss fight much later on in the run.
So next part is Barheim.
Yeah, the Barheim passage.
So the very first thing Zero is going to do is grab a chest here that's 100% spawn, which is 2.510k.
Yeah, 2.5k, it's really good chest for this early on.
Similar chests are in the PS2 version, but they don't have the fixed 2.51k. They have some other good chests that have also a lot of money in it, but not 2.5k. But we get that money because 2.5k is a lot, and we don't really have to take a big detour for that money.
Yeah, so I talked to that guy to get the thing to fix this system, and it gives like we get the charge system of Warheim, and it's a mechanic that you have using a switch costs 30% of charge, and if the charge drops below 50%, undead enemies will start to spawn, and you get charge back by killing these battery mimics over here. So I'm just gonna kill them enough to keep the charge up, because the undead enemies are really annoying, and the boss fight in this dungeon becomes different if the charge is low. So it's mainly for the boss fight that I'm killing them, but they also give 2 LP each. Which is pretty nice, and I can usually kill multiple enemies with darks.
So there's another need for the percentage charge we have, which is this little guy right here. This switch is only flippable if we have 30% energy or more, or charge I should say, because we have to lift up a gate that is blocking our way, which we had to go around all the way to this place to flip that switch so we can, go back and advance through Barheim.
So yeah,
now we're already... Yeah.
Next boss is Mcqueen, and she will just go down as easy as the Firemane, if not easier, because, well, she won't be teleporting around. There's a when she gets to below 20% of her maximum HP, she will try to use a move called Shockstorm, which is an FMV attack. Like, well, you saw Bushfire. You may have seen Bushfire in the Fire main fight. It was really quick, but there will be an attack and it will have a big animation and stuff. A lot of bosses have those kinds of moves, but I'm trying to kill. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to kill Mcqueen before she gets Shockstorm off. But we'll see what happens. It's just random. I could try to manipulate it, but it doesn't take too much time, even if it happens. Yeah, here he goes.
Usually Dark should also kill a couple of tiny mimics, or baby mimics, from Mcqueen, but this time it didn't kill a single one. If that were to happen, Mcqueen would use Birth, and sometimes would get stuck in that and could not use Shockstorm right away. So that would be one way to be able to skip Shockstorm.
Yeah.
So this is one of the few cutscenes that you cannot skip in the Zodiac age.
Yeah, there are a lot more cutscenes you can skip in the PS2 version, and they made most of them skippable in the Zodiac versions. But for some reason, they did not make this one skippable. I don't know why.
I've actually never watched this cutscene in Japanese before. Oh, by the way, these unskippable cutscenes right here, in the Japanese version on PS2, they've not been voiced, it was just text. So this is the first time you actually hear that. That's not some PS2 audio you hear that was remastered. It was actually newly recorded audio from the voice actors they used back from 2006 and recorded that stuff back in 2017.
So here I'm using this teleport crystal to teleport back to Rabanastre. So there are several teleport crystals in in areas throughout this throughout FF12 areas, and there's usually one in almost every area. And how it works is that you can teleport to any crystal you've touched previously in the playthrough. Except that Rabanastre is an exception. You can always, even if you don't touch the crystal in Rabanastre, you can still teleport to it. Teleporting, however, is not free. It costs a teleport stone, and that is a research we have to be very careful with in the run. So we just don't quite have as many teleport stones as we would like to. So I will have to make one short run where teleporting would save me maybe 10 seconds if I had an extra teleport stone. But there's no chance for me getting a teleport stone really. Like I'm not killing any enemies that would drop teleport stones in this category, so there's no chance of me using that teleport. But it's only like 10-second well loss, so it's not worth it to try to get one.
So now we walk to the Sandsea to get back. Balthier and Fran that parted their ways, and then we hear that Penelope got kidnapped and that they were up in Bujerba somewhere, and that we make haste to that place because even Bosch has something to do in Bujerba, and we will see what exactly that will be.
Yeah, so we're in the Sunstone, but as I mentioned, teleport stones are a really valuable asset, and we want to get one from right here. For killing a Rogue Tomato, we get 300 gil, 2 potions, and a teleport stone, where the teleport stone is the thing that we really want to, so we don't have to walk for like 5 minutes. So in Rabanastre there's also the inner Rabanastre teleporting system called Moogling, where you can teleport or warp from one Moogling station to another, and I just used it there to teleport here. And in the if we were to run Seitengrat, this is where we would get. This is how early you would get the Seitengrats.
Yeah.
So
you get overpowered really early on in the game.
So our weapons now are like attack power 20-ish, and
Seitengrat
is 224. So
you see how insane that increase of attack power is.
Yeah.
And how stupid.
Yeah, so that's why we're not running with Seitengrat today. If, however, you want to see at least a glimpse of Seitengrats, you might want to donate towards the donation incentive to kill the 5 judges, because in there you will see them really shortly. Or, well, you won't see them because they're invisible, but you will see the use of them.
Okay, so Lamont, the first, well, not really the first, but our guest joined, the first guest that stays a guest and is not coming party member later on. So we have that little meme going on, calling Lars a she all the time. It's basically of misconception, because Larsa is actually a he in the game. So Larsa does not have infinite potions or high potions in the Zodiac Age like we know it from the PS2 version. Larsa actually has Cure and Cura, which are really good spells.
Yeah, it's his healing is very nice addition here. Like in PS2, it's really good because infinite high potions are really good. But even here, it's the extra heals from Cura are really useful. However, right now he's just here for this dungeon, and there's nothing for us to do in this dungeon. So he just leaves after this cutscene, and we don't really get to use. Really don't get any use of him, but it's fine.
So we just made this little exhibition just to progress some story, and now we basically just run back to Bujerba, and our favorite little minigame happens.
So we get to Bujerba and we get to the whoops. We get to the shouting minigame. I don't know how many of you have seen the Mega 64's video about it, but it's great. You should watch it if you haven't.
Good old times.
I'm sure someone will post it in the chat. And yeah, so how this fight minigame goes is that we have to convince enough people that Bosch is alive and not actually dead, and Ondori is a big liar. So optimally this minigame can be done with two shouts, but it's kind of tight. So let's see if we can get it. Ideally, I would have also gotten that woman that's standing there with this shout, but I did it too early. Now I go to the shout, and I go to the bar, and I need to get 3 of the guys who give me a lot of things, and it's kind of specific. So I moved to.
You got all 3, but
I got all of 3 of them, and it's just enough for 100%.
Nice.
That's nice 2 shout.
So that's a 2 shout.
But yeah, I got to. I moved the game speed to normal speed, so I could get this 2 shout because it's way too hard to be that precise on 4 times speed. But I will put it back on 4 times speed right after. Right after I
So the next part that we're going to is we're going to Leviathan. Story-wise, I mean I've seen the cutscenes recently, but I already forgot how we get on Leviathan again. I think it's because we want an acquaintance with the princess, but she's caught, and we don't get to have an acquaintance with the princess unless we were caught, and so Bosch kind of makes us getting caught. I think that's how it
yeah, the cutscene is a little bit confusing, so we make it appear so that we threaten the Marquis, so the Marquis can arrange us to be in the same prison as the Princess Ash.
But of course the people in power don't do that.
Yeah, but it still has to make appear so that he didn't help us to free her.
And at this point we find our new guest, who's Vossler, and he will be an aid to us during the lies and the next fight.
So in the Zodiac 8, in Zodiac versions, unlike in the original versions of the FF12, you can actually control your guests, and it's really useful here because Vossler has much better armor and more HP than my normal characters. So having him as a leader makes me take way less damage. Also, I'm picking up 2 chests here. They both contain reflect emotes, and reflect emotes are really useful.
Yeah, those 2 reflector mods are 100%, but sadly a one-time only spawn in this game.
So I get 2 reflect emotes there. They will be used later. So I make sure my cursor is on techniques before I enter this next fight, so I can use a technique called Traveler sooner. We will explain Traveler in a little bit, but now we're just using it for damage. But it has a more important use later.
That's Soul Eater.
Oh, I accidentally used Soul Eater.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
That still works. Nice. Got
Still
it.
got the kill.
So this is the first congratulations screen that we are, and the only one that that we are forced to watch in the run.
Yeah, so usually after a boss fight there's a cutscene, and after the cutscene there's a congratulations screen. But after this fight there's no cutscene, and you can't skip these congratulations screens. But if there's a cutscene before them, you can skip the cutscene, and skipping that cutscene would also skip the congratulations screen. But this one doesn't have one, so we have to watch it. But hey, we get to see Fran having arrow in her mouth. And now we got Ash.
Isn't that a little bit scary? With the amount of HP you have?
It's fine. Maybe I'll high potion.
So we basically just came here to rescue Ash, and now we are running back to where we came from, and we find someone that we don't like, which is Judge Geese, the first judge we fight in this speedrun. And well, with the power of AoE attacks, or should I say dark, we will defeat him very quickly.
Yeah, we're still a little bit over-leveled, like the enemies here are around level 14, I would like to say. And we're level 18, so we're fine, and we have the power of dark on our side.
Yeah.
So
we're finally getting to the point where it slowly starts to even out the levels again between us and the game.
So the fight has 3 soldiers right behind us, and they just died to dark, and I will try to run away from my party members so that they don't get hit by the AoE, but it doesn't matter, Geese does anyway.
And that was Geese, really fast. Also, Geese didn't die at 0% health, he died at actually 20% of his HP.
Yes. So now we're back in Busherba, and we're gonna move straight into the plot. So we want to go next to the Tomb of Rage wall to pick up the Dawn Shard, so we can prove that Ashe is the rightful queen of Dalmasca. So that's what we're gonna do. We are gonna skip a bunch of cutscenes and move far to the west.
I have one question, Zero.
Yeah?
Is Penelo tougher than she looks?
She might be.
Yeah. This upcoming cutscene is only partially skippable in the PS2 version, but in the Zodiac Age it's completely skippable, so it even skips one of our favorite unskippable cutscenes in the game.
Yeah, if you have donations, now would be a good time. Well, so I'm gonna pick up an item here called Golden Amulet. Golden Amulet gives you double LP.
Yeah. In PS2 we get them much later, but we can buy them and at the later points. In the Zodiac Age we cannot buy them, we just have to find them, which makes Golden Amulet a very valuable item in the Zodiac Age. But you can get them luckily a little bit early in the Zodiac Age. However, as I just stated, you can only get it like 4 or 5 times max.
Fossilor fell asleep, which is unfortunate, and now I have to run with my weaker party members.
Well, in worst case scenario, you can still touch a crystal that's coming up.
So yeah, Fossilor has a lot of HP and good armor again, which is why we're running with him. The other party members are at low health, but there's a free heal before the next boss fight anyway, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna bother with healing them. I turned off Vosslor's Gambit so that he also won't use up my Phoenix Downs, as he has a Phoenix Down Gambit.
So we are heading right now to the Simon Bluff area in Namiense Sunsea, because this area has Embroidered Tippet, couldn't find the word. Embroidered Tippet doubles your EXP whenever you wear an Embroidered Tippet for that character who wears the Embroidered Tippet. And
Yeah.
we'll use that later on when we do the last bit of farming in the run.
Yeah, so we got the double LP item and the double EXP item.
Yeah.
Oh, all my party members died, so
That was painful.
that's fine.
Okay, and here's a menu coming up.
I'll shop first, sell the flame stuff and the books of Regain.
Oh, that's good money.
Then buy Kira and Race and some healing items for various statuses. And then I'm gonna do a menu. I'm gonna license Penelo. I'm gonna give Penelo White Mage. And then Ashe will be a knight. And Bosch will also be a knight. Then I'm gonna give Bosch some accessory licenses, so he can wear the golden amulet and the embroidered tippet I just got. And I'm gonna give Bosch also a little bit more HP and a augment called Last Stand, which makes him take way less damage when on critical HP. And Ash will get accessories 4 and accessory 6 for the golden amulet, and she will get HP 213, and that's it for now. Penelo will get also some more accessories. I will also give her the Mystic Armor 5 for armor I'm gonna buy later on, and she will also get the golden amulet. And then I'm gonna give her some white magics. And get channeling, so her magic spells cost less MP. And finally the remaining magics, which is this spell, is the last one. And I'm gonna give Ash the golden amulet. And then I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna save, because we have auto saves. You're right, Harvey?
No.
So now this is Garuda. Garuda is weak to dark, so we can kill him pretty easily with just darks.
Yeah. There would be an item to make Garuda even weaker, but it's way out of the way, and we're already doing way too much damage to Garuda to even consider it being worth it to go for that item.
Yep.
So, next boss is Demon Wall, or should I say Demon Wall 2. We're running from the first Demon Wall. For those of you who don't know, FYI, you only have to kill the second Demon Wall. The first Demon Wall is optional.
Yeah, the first Demon Wall is a lot stronger and much more painful to deal with. But fortunately, we can just skip him.
Ooh. This should be a quick fix with Echo Herbs.
Oh, did someone get silenced?
Yeah, Fran.
Oh, okay. Fix that then. So now I'm gonna switch everyone's gambits to target the allies with dark. So I used the reflect mode, which reflects all my magic to the nearest enemy. So by reflecting dark off of myself, I will multiply my damage by 4 basically. Because every dark hits 4 times, and you can see how fast he goes down.
Also, this is the power of Reflect in FF12. It's absolutely broken.
And then I turn off Gambit so they won't stop to use Dark every other second and eventually kill themselves when Reflect wears off.
Reflecting magic is the main way to deal damage.
Oh, I forgot to do some Gambits.
In the main version of FF12. Or in the magic route of this speedrun. But no one really does the magic route except me.
So Vossler will be the leader again, although he's getting pretty low on HP. He will probably die soon. It doesn't matter though. I'm hugging this wall because there's a trap.
That we have to avoid, otherwise that will do the damage.
The trap would do a lot of damage to us, and that would be annoying.
Something that comes up relatively soon, like in the next couple of seconds, is that Zero will cast Traveler with Vossler. And Traveler is a special technique that when casted does a lot of damage when you know the last 3 digits of your steps, which was 212 or 212. And if you cast Traveler again between 202 and 211, you will deal over 9,900 damage, which at this point of the run is an incredible amount of damage that we were going to use on Peleus to deal a big chunk of damage.
Yeah, so the Peleus has about 15,000 HP, so Traveler dealing 10,000 will be almost 2/3 of his HP. So I will damage him down to that point and then use Traveler to finish it up.
That's basically how
Wrong way.
Peleus is going to be end.
This is fine, this is fine.
On 4x, these guys are really strong.
Also annoying in FF12 is that the menu button and the interact act button is the same thing, so I'm trying to open the door, but I keep opening the menu.
Okay, we now unlock the secret passageway to Peleus, and now Zero is going to prepare for the fight and reviving, hopefully, the other characters would then use the Reflect Dark strats to deal the first amount of damage, and then finish off everything with Traveler. But first he has to check if his steps are correct.
Yeah, so
he currently has 052 steps. He wants around 30 left before his Traveler number, since his Traveler number was 212. So 186 is pretty good. Okay, so entering the fight. Kinda have to wait for Peleus to get down here. Otherwise, we'll do too many steps. Okay, this should be it. Perfect. GG Peleus. That was really good. Peleus can go really badly if he wants to just annihilate your party, but this one was really good. It was a really good fight.
Traveler on 4x speed is really hard to do, and that's really that's one of the hardest things to do in this run.
Yeah.
This fight is just because of the Traveler.
Yeah, it's really precise with the step count and everything. Then that and 4x speed on a whole, that's a whole new difficulty level for itself.
But yeah, we have been using magic until now, but now that we have Peleus, we get access to our second chops, which the HD remaster gives. 2 chops for everyone, so it unlocks after Peleus. So now we can get we can reach the weapon we're gonna use in this route much faster. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get those weapons right now. I could have gotten them earlier, but there's really no point until you're actually able to wear them. So this is where I'm gonna get them. And as I got the damage armlet earlier, I'm gonna get that from the trial mode. So first I'm gonna set up my gambits.
So the weapon he's talking about is the Carcata. We refer to it as the meme sword since it can confuse any enemy 100% of the time, as long as the enemy is confusable and not already confused. The thing about confusion in this game is that when someone is confused and you hit that person with confuse, or the enemy, you will get unconfused. But that means you cannot stack confuse over confuse, so you have to wait until the enemy is unconfused to be able to confuse him again.
Yes. Also, the So I'm getting the Carcata, and I'm going to use Rng Manipulation to get it. I could use a program called FF12 RNG Helper, but I chose not to take my PC with me to ESA, so I figured out another way to Rng manipulate it without using the program, but using the program is perfectly allowed in the speedrun. So I'm gonna pick this chest again for another Diamond Armlet, because why not? And now it's in the third stage, so after this I need to be sure that I'm correctly set up for the...
Go for the 3% steal, by the way. See if you get it.
Okay, let's see. I have a 10% chance of getting the Carcata here right away. If I can get the seal. No?
Couldn't steal anything. Mithril, but okay.
Okay.
So that's where we're gonna close the application and then re-enter the game so we can reset the RNG completely on the PS4. Oh, talking about RNG, the RNG manipulation is completely different on the PC and the Switch and Xbox One version. They're, as stupid as it sounds, they're not like, they're random on those consoles, while on PS4 and PS2 you can track them via an algorithm, but on PC and Switch it's not doable. So if you have a Switch console or PC and try to replicate that, the way we do it is sadly not doable for you people.
So yeah, closing the application resets your RNG, so that way I can... It lands in a certain scale, so I'm gonna try... first I'm trying to find where exactly I am in the RNG. And that's that. Now I know. And now I'm gonna shoot with Fran 4 times, because that's enough. And then I should be able to get it when I go to trail mode. So I set it up so that one will steal as soon as possible from the flowering cactoid, and he should steal a Carcata.
Yeah.
If not, then something went wrong.
So we're gonna do this 2 times. This should be the first attempt and everything goes right. Yep. Perfect. First try was really good.
I'm gonna kill them, then I'm gonna get Valthier out. And I'm gonna do some more trails, because trails gives you a lot of LP. So doing trails is really nice.
Trials does give you an insane amount of LP.
So now I'm going to license, like, because it's boss of, quote unquote, boss after boss after boss after boss, so it gives you a lot of LP. But yeah, now I'm going to get the second license board for Ash, and whenever you pick a license on one board, if the second board also has that license, it's also unlocked in that one. So that allows me to do some license board warping and get to Carcatas faster. So I had the HP 230 there, so I was able to start the Foe Breaker from here, and now I'm able to switch back to Knight because I got that Battle Lore, and it's right next to the Spellbound, which is fairly close to Carcata. So that's how I get Carcata.
License warping in the Zodiac Age is broken and it's really fun.
And now I have the Carcata, and because she has the Carcata, I'm gonna give the Golden Amulet to Bosch, so Bosch can get the LP for Carcata as well.
Oh, look at that damage. Look at the beautiful damage. I think that's the point where you reset.
Yeah, now after killing the judges, I just leave and load the trial save file, so now I have all the LP and Carcata with me in the actual game, and then I'm gonna repeat this whole process again to get the second Carcata and even more LP.
Carcatas are very crucial for the run. They're basically your main weapons until, like, basically 10 or 20 minutes before the end of the run.
Something like that. Let's just create a new file, whatever.
Well, little spoiler alert, we will keep one until the end of the run, but we will get rid of the second Garcata for an Ultima Blade later on.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna reset again, enter trial mode, and go up to trials number 3. To do the very same process yet again. So if there would be any donations or anything that the hosts would like to say, now is a good time.
I'm gonna pick up another... Oh, I didn't pick up the drum drum, but that's fine.
So suppose that there are no donations right now. So then I want to plug a little bit for our own incentive we have for this run or after this run, which is going to be the incentive for killing the 5 judges in Trials 100. A lot of people say the 100th trial is incredibly hard and they have no idea how to beat it in a very good way. So we will show you if the incentive will get met, how you can cheese the 5 judges fight. So get those donations in for that incentive. So 0 reset again to reset the RNG. Starts the game to cure and see in what RNG pattern he's on. Then he's attacking himself and curing himself to advance the RNG in the RNG pattern or the RNG list to progress in a way so that he can steal Garcata for a second time.
$186, $205, $190, $196, $184, $198. Okay, that works. A little bit unusual, but it's fine. Trail mode. In like, give me 1 minute. Yeah.
That's the second
Okay,
Garcata.
now you can
Perfect.
do the donations.
So
Ugly_Goblin donated $10, $5 for the runners and the best FF game and $5 for the lone warrior in the audience who understands good gaming less than 3.
Alright, so doing some more trails for LP. And now I'm gonna license some more. Bosch will get his Garcata. I can go to my main party now, and Bosch will get... hold on a second. Monk. Monk as his second class, unlike Ash, who got Foebreaker. Foebreaker is very convenient for licenses, which is why I got that for Ash. And Monk has a lot of HP, so Bosch will be a little bit tankier than Ash. But Ash will eventually deal more damage. So that's Spellbound is really nice, and then I can get the Garcata. And then I'm gonna go up here to get some armor for later. Get the shield block, heavy armor 4, and the shields 3. Then Ash will Also get the heavy armor 4. And accessories 5 for Emperor Tibet. And Penelo is done. I'm gonna equip the Tippet on Bosch and optimize him. And I'm gonna give the Golden Amulet now to Penelo. And now Penelo will get... Penelo will not get Karkata. She will be my healer. But she needs probably the most LP throughout the run. It's just that I had to have the Golden Amulet on Ash and Bosch to get those Karkatas as soon as possible. But yeah, now that I have the Karkatas and the LP, I can just move on to the boss fights. Or the next boss fight, which is who else but Vossler. And you will truly see the power of Karkatas now. I'm approximately at an appropriate level for this part. Maybe a tiny bit over leveled, but still, you will see how OP it is.
That's why Karkatas are OP and why we call them the meme swords. Karkatas are incredibly powerful.
More trophies!
Is this a plat % run?
No, this is not a plat % run, unfortunately.
Nah, plat % would be a little too long. Just over 6 hours, too much.
Yeah, like the plat % world record is barely under 10 hours. With Seitengrats.
Yeah. Still, sub 10 hours for every for every single trophy in this game is pretty good. Still very good time. So now we're back to Rabanastre, and the waters are now swollen with a deluge, and there are new passages now that lead through the Giza Plains, which now open us the way to the Osman Plains, which are the way to Jahara. And Jahara is our next destination we have to go. And Zero is giving his best try to do 4x movement on Chocobo.
Yeah, the Chocobo movement is hard enough. And with 4 times speed, it's even more hard. Like, you can see this movement right now. This is the normal Chocobo movement. I also can use sprints, and when you use sprint, you go faster. And with 4 times speed, that means you go incredibly fast. And usually in PS2, I would use the sprints here, because that's the most optimal place to use them. But on 4 times speed, it's really hard to navigate those, and I would likely bump into the walls too much. So I'm choosing to use them later in the Osmone Plains, where there's more room and less like narrow pathways. But you can see how fast this goes. And even still, this last corner here is really hard to move it optimally, as you can see.
Turbo plus 4x on Chocobo is one of the hardest things to control in this entire game.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Kaiaslil Monster donated $5. Shoutouts to my lovely boys Zeta0 and HRRVY. Good luck, boys. Glad to see FFXII is still alive and well. $5 to judges. Insane fight, well worth the watch.
Thank you, Kios. You're amazing. Herbie.
Don't ask, just accept.
But yeah, we get to Jahara. We are here to learn about how to use the Dawn Shard that we got in Tomb of Rage Wall, and It turns out that the Garif actually know nothing of the matter, and we have come here for nothing. But then we meet with Larsa again, who tells us to go to Mount Bromises to...
Wait. Larsa?
Yeah.
No. He was called Lamont.
No, it's Larsa.
Yeah, there's a big discussion around, oh, is it Lamont, is it Larsa? Nah, it's actually just Larsa. We just pulling a leg.
Yeah, but yeah, Larsa asked us to go to Mount Bromise to talk to the Grand Kiltias, who would prove that Ash is the Queen of Dalmasca, because we can't use the Dawn Shard. We don't know how to use the Dawn Shard. So we have to go even further, actually to the east.
Yeah, to progress the story.
Yeah.
But on the way to that place, we realized, hey, the way is blocked off. Why can't we go any further? Or, yeah, we first have to go to the Golmer jungles and then see, oh, dude, the road is blocked. We can't go any further. What shall we do? And then our lovely bunny is the one to rescue and tells us what we have to do next.
Yeah. Also, you might have noticed that I did not touch the teleport crystal in Chahara, even though you do so in almost every speedrun. The reason for that is that I don't have the teleport stone to teleport to Chahara, so I have to use an alternate means to get into the Henne Mines soon. But first, to the bunny village. And I'm dismounting early here because this loading screen that happens here is way longer if you're on a chocobo.
Yeah, for some reason.
So I saved like 3 seconds or at least on PS2 you saved 3 seconds. It might be less on
you still save some time if you disembark.
You still save some loading time with that. And here I'm gonna sell the Diamond Armlet. Come on. And I'm gonna buy 2 Shielded Armors. Shielded Armors are really good because not only are they the strongest pieces of armor that we have at this point, they also carry the Auto Protect, which is really nice.
Auto Protect is giving us a little more defense than usual.
Yes.
Which will give us more safety and more defense, which is really powerful.
Yeah. So it has the best defense and protects, so it's easily the best armor that you can have at this point.
Yeah. And I think we don't change armors until like way later.
Fawn Coast is the next time we upgrade our armor.
That's still like an hour off, an hour away.
Maybe a little bit less. I don't know. I'm not actually sure. Either way, we also got some new armor for Penelo. Penelo got the Mage's Habit and Mage's Hat. Those are mythic armor, so they increase her magic and MP. And I also got Esuna, which Esuna removes some status ailments, so like Blind, Silence, Immobilize, Disable. I don't remember if there's any reverse as well.
Yeah. As you can see here, instead of using the Teleport Crystal that we use in almost every other category, Zero is just walking back because right outside here we have a guard, and this guard is a really thirsty guard, and he's very damaged, and he needs a potion. Definitely needs a potion. And because we gave him a potion, he's kind enough to lend us his chocobo, and with that chocobo that we can borrow, we can now ride to the entrance to Henne Mines. It's actually slower, 10 seconds slower if you don't have the teleport crystal. If you have the teleport crystal, if you do that, but if you don't have one, this is the best way to get a chocobo very fast.
Yeah, and it's not worth it to farm a teleport stone somewhere just to get to save the 10 seconds. You could also get more teleport stones from the the clan hall, for example, but that takes like almost a minute, so it's not worth it. So yeah, I killed some bats at the entrance here, and then I used the switch to open some doors ahead in the Henna Mines. So in Henna Mines, it's just running past enemies and hitting switches. I used to farm bats until very recently here, but then I figured that even if I do get the ice shield drop, which is what I wanted, really, it's still not worth it to use because it would require a lot of licenses on Ash, and I don't want to use that LP. So I'm just going with this. It's nice to have Penelo and Larsa as healers here to keep my HP up.
Okay, so we have to go around here a little bit so we can flip a switch to change the doors so we actually have a clear path to Tiamat.
Also, hi Jellies. And by Jellies, you didn't see them.
We never saw them.
They were off screen, but there were Jellies there. Sometimes they drop in front of you, but this time they all dropped off screen.
Oh, hey guys! How are you doing?
So yeah, next boss is Tiamat. What's up, guys?
They're from Stream 1.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. Yeah, Tiamat just gets confused a lot. Oh, he actually got a mule buff. Wow, he's getting stuff off. Oh, Penelo died. That's fine.
We should actually be able to get without many further complications.
Oh, disable.
Oh, Bosch got disabled, but this should still be doable.
Alright, I don't have Asuna yet.
There we go. That's Tiamat.
It's fine. A little bit trolly Tiamat, but we get through.
So in vanilla we would now do jellies, but since we have better ways to do farming here, we do it somewhere else. We actually are going to do Maronite farming. Maronites are found in Feywood, and they can give you a lot of money. They're also
I
really strong enemies.
I never did the trails.
Oh yeah, trial farming.
I forgot that. Well, we're doing it now, I guess.
Yeah. Zero's doing another trial farm so he can get some LP, so he can buy more HP, so he's quote-unquote resistant enough against the Maronites, because they can hit really hard and really much.
Yeah, like I'm going to double my Penelo's HP in the next menu, but for that I need some LP. I really need to get the geared up a little bit for the farming.
Dark would be convenient here.
Here I'm going here to kill the Ripe Rampager.
Ooh, 2 bubble modes.
I got 2 bubble modes, which is really nice. That's what I was going for. I kind of want 3 in the run, and so now I'm pretty much covered on bubble modes. So I just need 1 more, and I know where to get 2. I was just hoping for one, but I'll take 2. Trophy hype. That one is for attacking 300 times. So now I'm not gonna bother killing the Chachis, and I'm just gonna go back and move on.
Oh, so that's already enough.
That should be good enough, help him. So I'm gonna give Penelo her second license board as well, and Penelo will be Bushi, or it's like a samurai type thingy, I guess, that uses katanas. But most importantly, it has a lot of HP and some nice augments. Inquisitor here means that whenever she deals damage, she will regain some MP, which is really nice. Magic Lord just gives her more magic and more HP, and oh, I didn't mean to get that, but it doesn't matter. I have more than enough LP. I'm just gonna grab these HP nodes here to get as much HP as I can, and I'm gonna get Martyr, which is the same as Inquisitor, but I get MP from taking damage instead of dealing damage. Then I get Channeling to reduce MP cost, and that's fine. Then I get some HP for Ash. I want all this HP so I can survive better in the farming section here. Bosch gets HP here, and then there. And Penelo, yeah, Penelo's HP got like tripled.
Which is especially neat for the next farm.
Yeah, so now I have much better HP, and I should be able to deal with the farm a lot easier. So there's a boss called Elder, but we're gonna skip him. You can just walk around him. It's really easy to skip. But on our way, we're going to this area called Feywood, and in Feywood there are powerful enemies, as you can see.
Too powerful.
Yeah, so these enemies are about level 40. Can you guys heal us? Thank you. And yeah.
Yeah, now it's the perfect time, actually.
Just donations.
Seasoner donated $5. So, can the Carcater be used to break Harvey's lamp?
Yes. We can definitely use the Carcata to break Harvey. It's second try
nice,
Emperor
second try.
That's nice.
Is that like 10%? I don't remember.
It's 25% chance to get that, so it's not that unlikely to get it. Yeah. Yeah. Go on with the donations.
Go on. The grind starts now for quite a while.
Ugly Goblin 253 donated $5. This is 3D Christmas chat going equals.
Right.
Larsa Solidor donated $12. Hi to all the FF12 runners, community member and just people that came to watch the most underrated Final Fantasy game. Love you all. Larsa throws good RNG at 0 PS. My brother did nothing wrong.
That was my botch attempt to make.
Thank you, Eden.
You clearly shouldn't salvage when you're on 4x speed. It's really hard to do.
Yeah, these guys can confuse you, which is really annoying when you have the Carcadas. That guy is there as well.
That explains a lot. Oh shoot.
Yeah, I'm just gonna...
That explains a lot. Ooh. So that was a holy elemental. I think it's like 20% chance for that to spawn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use the save crystal.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And we didn't see it at all.
Yeah, the holy elemental is there. If you use magic near it, it gets aggressive and tries to kill you. Otherwise, it just is there. I also should remove the race gambits because I eventually want Larsa dead, so that he doesn't take some of my EXP. But I like to keep him at the start here, so he can heal me. So yeah, these Mirror Knights are quite annoying. They're very powerful, but fortunately they are weak to confuse, so I can just confuse loop them. Yeah, they hit hard, they can confuse you, and they can sometimes reflect you. which is annoying because if you get reflected, then you can't heal with magic, so that gets really annoying. Fortunately, I have Dispel.
And something you might notice is that Zero tries to not pick up any drops as of right now, because if you wait with picking up drops right now, your chain level will grow faster, meaning he's like already on chain level, on the blue chain level, and if he is not picking up the chain level right now, he should get the next level up relatively soon on the chain level. And he's probably gonna pick all the treasures at the highest chain level.
Yeah, so the enemies respawn when you move 2 zones away, so that's why I keep going back and forth there. And yeah, as Harvey said, I'm trying to avoid picking up drops so I can get chain levels faster.
Okay.
Once I get my final chain level, I will kill Larsa off to get more EX, or Larsa can die by himself, that's fine too. But yeah, after I get chain level, things will start to get really fast, much faster, and less scary, because the drops will start to heal me like they did at Dustia. At Dustia it was kind of annoying, but here it's very useful to get some extra heals. And also MP heals, so I don't have to heal Penelos or spend my elixirs on Penelo. So I just get my HP or MP back automatically.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we have a little time right now, and I want to remind the people again, we have a donation incentive for the 5 judges in Trials 100. If you want to see them being cheesed and being done really quickly, we have a setup where we can show them after the run, but that donation incentive has to be met. So if you want to donate for that, now is your chance. You have time until the end of the run.
They can still hurt you, as you can see, but...
But not as much as before.
Especially if one of your party members gets reflected and you don't realize it, or confused and you don't realize it, then things start to get really messy.
As you can see, we drop a lot of those Winslicer Opinions, and these Winslicer Opinions sell for a lot of money. So
yeah.
We might actually end up with or we should actually end up with like 120,000 gil after this farm.
Yes. They sell for 700 each, and you usually get around 90 of them. So that's 70,000 gil I get just from that. And then you get mirror mails on top of that. Now someone is reflected. Penelo got reflected, so I have to dispel her. I can move on to active battle mode
There's
now.
the first suit of mirror mail.
Oh.
Ooh, we don't want to fight that guy.
He's here again.
Another suit of mirror mail.
This is fine. I'll just run away.
Here they come again.
I'll just leave because the Holy Elemental is here.
Oh my god. That's a lot of people. There you can see them go one after another.
That's been really rough Maronite farming, but it's fine.
But we're around halfway through with the Maronite Farming.
Oh, that was a nice combo.
Another Mirmail. We have a lot of Mirmails after this farm, or usually should.
Yeah, so we're using Karkadas, and Karkadas are melee weapons. Melee weapons cannot crit in this game, but they, they cannot crit, but they can combo. Oh, Penelo got confused, that's fine. So yeah, only ranged weapons can crit. So Karkadas can't. So combos you can get. Usually you get normal attacks, but depending on weapons you can get or weapon determines how often you get combos. Karkadas don't combo that often.
Nice.
But you know, when they do, it's really powerful. They have probably, I would like to say 10% chance to combo, but maybe 5, I'm not sure.
It does vary weapon to weapon how good your combos are.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter, they don't combo. The fact that they can confuse, or they can't combo that much, the fact that they can confuse is more than enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, combo lengths vary from 2 to 12 hits, but we are very not likely to see 12. Because you can only get higher combo lengths when you are below certain amount of HP percentage wise.
The lower your HP, the higher your chances for a combo is.
And we like to keep it high HP so we don't die, so it's unlikely to see the combos.
So 13 more Maronites and then we're done here.
I'm probably gonna cut it short a little bit and just...
Yeah, we did kill some extra at the beginning.
I'm not gonna do another room for this, I'm just gonna kill whatever's available here. I'm not gonna bother racing her, just gonna leave after killing this one. This should be... Oh, I'm gonna kill that one as well, I guess. Nice. This is fine. And I'm just gonna leave.
That should be good enough. Skill-wise and item-wise.
Hello, Holy Elemental.
So our next stop is Paramasak, and we have to go through Perimeter with, in my opinion, one of the best overworld themes in the entire game.
Oh yeah, and that was the last farming we're gonna do in this run, so no more farming, which is always nice.
You won't hear a lot of that music because we only want run through here once while listening to it. The other time we use the Chocobo and then we hear the Chocobo theme and not the Perimeter Rift theme. So say goodbye to the Perimeter Rift theme very soon.
But yeah, if we have any more donations, now would be a good time. Maybe not. Okay. So yeah, we're here to talk to the Grankildias. And he will tell... We will learn a lot of things. We will learn that Lars's father, the Emperor of the Arcades, has died, and Vayne has assumed power. And we learned that we should go and grab the Sword of Kings from the Steel Shrine of Miriam. So that we have a power to destroy Nephesite, which are like these mass destruction weapons, or they can be used as such.
Yeah. They're manufactured Nephesite and normal Nephesite. Like the Dawn Shard is normal Nephesite from quote-unquote made from nature, and manufactured Nephesite is made Nephesite that was made through science stuff, and has only a small portion of power that usual actual Nephesite has. Very dangerous weapon in this lore of the game.
Yeah. Anyway, now we're going to Steel Shrine of Miriam, and I'm gonna first touch this save crystal, or the teleport crystal, so I can actually teleport back there. Back here when I'm done with Steel Shrine. So more Chocobo movement on for the speed. What else would a speedrunner want?
So people in chat, question I wanted to ask you, if you have played the original FF12, which OST do you like more, the rearranged soundtrack or the PS2 soundtrack? I really like both, but if I would have to pinpoint, I myself could not say which I prefer more. I really like both versions. They both have very unique additions to the OST, which I really love. So if you know any, if you want to tell me what your favorite is, throw it in the chat. I will read them after the round. So this is Steel Shrine, and the very first thing Zero has to do, he has to equip the character, or at least one character, with Dawn Shard, so he can use his teleporter right here. Otherwise, this game will not let you progress. And when he teleports, he's landing in this weird area. Behind him a Miriam Guardian, and in front, a lot of other stuff.
If you try to use that pedestal without having your party leader as the... If your party leader doesn't have Dawn Shard, and you try to touch the pedestal, 3 zombies will appear, and you will not be able to touch it without leaving the Steel Shrine again. So yeah, that's why I have to equip the Dawn Shard, and the same goes for that one, except that that one will not spawn any zombies, even if you have the Dawn Shard on, or even if you don't have the Dawn Shard on, but you still can't use it without it.
Forgetting the Dawn Shard actually has killed runs before.
Yes, it's very rough thing to experience.
It's those very little details that if you forget them, your entire run dies. That's typical for Final Fantasy XII. It's very tight when it comes to menu, and if you do one thing incorrectly, it can cost the entire run.
Okay, so I turned off Bashi's gambits, and that is because he's my party leader, and if he has gambits on, he will, every time I try to touch something, like a waystone or a pedestal or a switch or something, a door, I would Bash would take his weapon out immediately, but this way I can sometimes skip it. And also he would be trying to attack the enemies, and sometimes if you are in the middle of attacking animation, you can't interact with some things. So just to make things easier, I'm having Bash's gambits off for this part. Makes this much easier. And here I need to... The puzzle of the Steel Shrine is to rotate these three statues to all to face the middle of the Steel Shrine. They can be around in any position except the correct one. So you have to rotate them either once or twice, depending on your luck. It's obviously bad if you have to do it twice, but so far so good. Both have been single statues.
So the next fight is Venuscar. He's the first boss with something very special, and that's a field effect. And that field effect lowers the attack speed for every user who has metal objects equipped, which makes attacking Venuscar a lot slower because Ash and Bosch both have armor on. Zero did de-equip the helmets just to make it a little bit faster. If it would have had the helmets also on, it would have been even slower.
Yeah, so every piece of armor in this game has like a metallic value, and if you're metallic, depending on what the character's metallic value is, you either it depends. The more metallic value they have, the slower they will get. And nice, no, we didn't get any double statues, so
no statue troll, that's pretty good.
yes. So now we've completed the puzzle and we're going to the next boss fight. Again, gonna turn off Bosch's Gambit so it's easier to use all the waystones and doors. And I'm gonna also make sure my cursor is on Dispel, so I can dispel the next boss. Because the next boss is Mateus, and the fight is Mateus who summons 4 Ice Azers to help him. And they're all Ice Elemental, so I want to be equipped with Tourmaline Rings and or Ice Shield. So I will give both Penelo and Ash a Tourmaline Ring, and I will give Bosch, or Bosch already has the Ice Shield. So I will give the Golden Amulet to Bosch because so that someone at least gets the double LP. Okay, so let's see. Tourmaline Ring, and Golden Amulet, and then I'm optimizing.
It should be okay.
Yeah.
Maybe activate Bosch Gambits, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll activate Bosch's Gambits once I enter the fight, and then we will get to the fight. And there are 2 chests in this room. One of them is an elixir. Also, nice thing about Mateus is that he will keep using Reflect if you dispel it. He will use it again after Blizzard. So I will just spam Dispel with Penelo to keep him locked.
And that's Mateus.
Easy enough. I also picked up a Seichi's ring earlier. That will be used very later. Yeah, and I picked up the elixir and the bubble mode during the fight though, so now I have all my 3 bubble modes. So I don't need to grab an extra one. You only really need 2, but depending on how the final fights go, I might need a 3rd one there.
So coming up next is the second judge fight, and that's Judge Bergen. In DCA, he's not such big of a threat as he is in vanilla. He's not that hard due to Carcadas. You can just kill his ads, his judges, and just then attack him. Shouldn't be too big of a problem.
Yeah, so so yeah, the Bergen fight has... There's 3 judges that start from right behind you. So you can kill at least one of them before Bergen actually reaches you, which is nice. So I'm using this teleport crystal to teleport back to Buramisame. And then we're off to the boss fight. And yeah, you should be able to kill at least 1, probably 2 of the judges before Bergen actually appears, so that makes it easier, so I have to deal at maximum of 3 enemies at the same time. So it's not that bad. Also, I think the judges are susceptible to confuse, but I'm not quite sure actually.
We don't pay attention.
They die so fast.
Yeah, they
doesn't
just die too fast.
Yeah, we have Penelo as the healer, and I will have Penelo ready to dispel Bergen as soon as he comes.
They actually do get confused.
Yeah, so now I just have to make sure that everyone's at good enough HP.
And that's Bergen.
Yeah.
Trophy farmer.
More trophies.
Certain fights in the Zodiac are just a lot easier thanks to Corcado.
Yeah. We will get to the hard fights soon enough.
Yeah.
Actually, the next fight will be can be quite annoying, depending on how things go.
Oh yeah, our favorite Mandragoras, our favorite enemy, everyone's favorite enemy.
But yeah, now the story tells us to go to Arcades to get rid of the Nephesite that the Empire has. So that's where we're headed. And the fastest way is to teleport to Nalbina, where we visited a lot earlier in the run. And on my way there, I'm going to stop at the... make a quick stop in the Esther Sand, actually, to pick up an item called Berserker Braces. And that item will give whoever's equipped it... It's an accessory that gives a Berserk status on your characters, or on the character who's wearing it. So I will get that, and I will get that for give that to Ash, and she will be berserked for a lot of time. And what Berserk does is it makes you only be able to attack. That's the only command you can get. You cannot control that character, but they will just keep attacking. But they're dealing, I think, 1.5 times damage, or is it 2 times damage? Either way, they'll get a big multiplier on their damage, and they will their ATB charges very quickly. So it's really good, and as I can remove it at will, I can, if I ever need her to do something, I can just remove the Berserker Braces, and then I can control her. So it's a very good item.
So sad that it wasn't that we didn't have it in the original. Would have made certain fights, yes, but a lot nicer and a lot faster. So you don't have to recast Berserk all the time.
And I picked up another elixir there, but now would be a very good time for donations because there will be a little bit of downtime here.
Edeni donated $5. My first contact with 12 was in the Still Shrine of Miriam. I instantly fell for the game just by the orchestrated soundtrack. I urge you all to listen to both the original and remastered versions of the soundtrack.
Thank you, Eden.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so here in Seitengrat I have to... Oh. I couldn't care less. I accidentally talked to him again, and that's the option you want to say if you do that. Either way, I need to find 9 Mughals, but they're in groups of, or in 4 groups, and tell them to go back to fix the gate, so we can progress. So the optimal route is to go and take care of those Mughals first, then down here to get these Mughals, and then there's 2 sets of Mughals right next to each other in another screen.
Yeah. Getting these Mughals is a big road blocker for us. If there would be a way to get around these Mughals, we could actually go to Fawn Coast already right after we get the Dawn Shard, because as soon as we have the Dawn Shard, we have access to Mistforeign High West, and as soon as we can go to Mistforeign High West, we could get to the Mughal Gate. But the flag for the Mughals that we can get the Mughal minigame to search for the Mughals is not set, so we cannot look for them right after the Dawn Shard. So if there would be a way to kind of skip them, it would save a lot of time in a couple of categories. So if someone wants to try and figure out stuff, if there somehow is a way to skip that, feel free to try.
Yeah, so we found all the Mughals now. And this section might not have that much action in it, but it has really good music. Like first Mosforan, then Salikavud, and next Fawn Coast all have very good, and they're like many people's favorite track is one of those 3.
Really good tracks.
Yeah, but we are about to get a menu here. It's just gonna be licensing. I'm gonna get an upgrade on my armor, as the shielded armor is gonna get a little bit outdated, and I'm gonna get... Penelo will finally get a weapon, so she can join in the attack soon as well. So let's see, Penelo gets the Katana 3, Headsman. Then I will give her 2 Gambit slots here, so we can give more Gambits to Penelo, as she only has healing Gambits right now. Then I will give her Esuna, and I will give her the Mystic Armor. Then I will give Ash Accessories 13 for the Berserker Braces, and this specific Battle Lore, because that is right next to the Diamond Armor in the Knight's leaderboard or license board. And for Monk to get the same result or same battle or same result, you have to get this HP lore and this battle lore, and then you're right next to the armor. Then I'm gonna turn on the race again. I'm gonna give her a Gambit to use Asuna, and I'm gonna give her an attack Gambit. And oh yeah, the equipment also. I'm gonna need to give you the. You get the Tippet, you get the Berserker Bases, and you get the Golden Amulet. So now we're at Fawn Coast. Amazing music, and there's no boss fights here, but we do have a major shop coming up, where we're gonna get rid of the Maronite guild that we got. And this is actually one of the few runs that actually utilizes the bazaar mechanic in the game. it's not a big deal, but by selling certain amounts of loot, you get different items. You unlock different items in Bazaar, and wind slicer pinions that we get from the Mirrormites conveniently unlock Phoenix Flight, which is 50 Phoenix downs, and we're gonna get that. So 99 wind slicer pinions is a lot of money.
That's a little bit more than 700 gil per.
Oh,
pinion.
yeah, it was. Where's Kikui Chimonji? For Penelo, so Penelo has a weapon. Astrakhan hat and Garmugnol for the armor.
12 mirror mails.
And 2 diamond armors. And I have so much money I don't even have to sell the mirror mails. And I will buy 21 Bakusis wines as well. And then get the Phoenix Flight from Bazaar. And then I'm gonna keep moving on.
We still have 69,000 gil.
Yes.
That just goes to show how insane the gil is after fighting a little bit in the Feywoods to and farm a little bit of the Maronites.
Yeah,
they're really good to get money.
And that gil is way more than enough to get me through the rest of the run. I don't have to sell anything. I don't have to pick up any extra chests, and it's all good. So now we're heading to our next boss fight. It's actually a unofficial hunt. So this guy drew a picture of the hunt, but because it was so unclear, as you can see it in the second, the picture is right here. It's so unclear according to the hunt or the people who organized the hunt boards that they didn't accept it as an official hunt. So. But the kid gives us the job anyway. It doesn't count as a hunt in any means, it's just there. But we do have to kill him.
So something new in Zodiac that some places have this saving screen that are not apparent in the original. Like Soken Palace has such a saving screen that we have not seen in the original version of the game. It's one of many, many subtle differences that the game has to offer.
Yeah. Yeah, and behind this door are the Mandis.
Our favorite fight?
Yeah,
Not really.
So there are 5 enemies, and they get really annoying with status ailments.
Oh, nice 3-hit combo.
And then they start buffing themselves, and it can get really annoying if it gets out of hand.
We just don't want mystery walls to happen, because if they get mystery walls off, they're almost unkillable at this point.
But this fight is going relatively well.
This is really good.
Even though Penelo is asleep.
You mean Ash? There we go.
There we go. That was a really good Mandius fight. Sure. Donations are always appreciated, so go ahead.
Hartley, Blake, Rooster donated $10. Hyped to see my boys Zeta0 Scar I and HRRV showcasing TZA. Good luck with the speed meme, and hopefully we will have WR Kongormed.
World record Kongormed.
World record. Definitely Kongormed.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rooster.
Thank you, Rooster.
Rooster is the world record holder of the PS2 version
PS2 game
of the game, so he's a really great runner.
But now he's busy with FF10 and 13 easy mode.
So, yeah, the Bakusis wines I bought in the shop, actually, I forgot to mention, they give Brave Berserk. So I have the Berserker braces for Ash, but I also need a means to Berserk Bosch. So I'm gonna use the Bakusis wine for this upcoming boss fight.
So next boss fight is none other than our lovely ghost Ahriman.
Yeah.
One of the most hated bosses in the PS2 run, but I think he's kind of okay in this run.
Yeah, this Ahriman is fine in this run.
He can be annoying, but definitely not as annoying as in the PS2 version.
Immobilize is annoying though.
That's another annoying thing in TCA. I don't know. I realized that I think that's TCA specific though. When you cast a spell and you have an interaction point with you right in front of you, the game usually prioritizes the spell casting, which is not a thing in the original version of the game. But in TCA, for some reason, they prioritize the spell than the object you can interact with.
Penelo wouldn't assume. I mean, Ash will die to Doom, which will be annoying. I should probably have Bosch as the leader then.
Also, this room is kind of spooky because there
There are a lot of traps here.
traps everywhere. Yeah, traps everywhere. Oh. Ooh. Doesn't this mean you got a rare game? Because you got Wendigo. Oh. There we go. Okay, we made it through it alive.
Yeah, the room after Ahriman is a little bit spooky, especially if you hit the trap and everyone dies.
So we make it to Arcades, finally. But not really. There's one thing that keeps us from Arcades.
Okay. So in Arcades, knowledge is power, and
Power means money.
yes, like people in Arcades proper are super rich, and people in low or old Arcades are really poor. So, but we have this guy over here who actually found a bag of coins, and so he's kind of rich. He happened to find them in a barrel. It was just sitting there, and he goes and forever tells about it to this handsome boy who he has never spoken to before, and says to not tell anyone because logic. Anyway, he gives me this information, but I don't think I have any use for it. But then we are blocked from entering the proper city because we don't have papers. But now this guy Jules, he's a little bit shady guy, but he's Balfir's old friend, and he tells me he can sell some information on how to get into the city if we pay 200 or 1500 gil for him. And then he tells me that okay, we can get in if we go and talk to tell a man named Beasley, who's right here, that someone found a bag of coin, and apparently it was Beasley's money that he found. So now that we told him that, Beasley's gonna get mad and there's gonna be a fight. And because there's a fight, the fight distracts the guards, so the guards will go and stop the fight, I guess, and we can actually enter the proper Arcades. But in Arcades, money doesn't really mean much, and we need to get into this area where the rich people live, but we can't get in there because we don't have any chops. Or the ticket there costs 1 million gil, and even if you have 1 million gil, you can't use it.
Yeah.
Peleus just says no, that's way too much. We can't pay that, and so we need chops. And the way you get chops is you talk to a person and that person will have some sort of information, and you give that information to a person that needs that information. And there are pairs like this. There are a total 28. You need 3 to pass, or to use the cab. And I'll just use the 3 that's closest by. So the order might change, but they are pretty much always the same 3 that I'm using.
That's another subtle difference that TCA has that mostly no one speaks about, but is a huge, quote-unquote, time saver and convenience for us. Because in the original version you needed to get 6 chops, which in a casual playthrough, if you had no idea what to look for and what to go for, it could have taken you hours to go for those 9. So to reduce them to 3, just for the fluidity for playing, makes it way nicer.
Wait, where is she? There. She's usually way over there. I don't know why she was here, but
that's chops.
But yeah, that's chops.
So now we're going to the next area.
Yes, if we have any more donations, now would be a great time. Okay, that's alright. We can.
I think it would be a good time to plug our incentive again.
Yes.
We have the incentive to kill the 5 judges in Trials 100. A lot of people have issues with that fight. A lot of people say it's a really hard fight. We will show you how easy it is to cheese that fight when that incentive gets met. So then donate towards that if you really want to see that.
If you don't use the cheese, it's easily considered one of the hardest fights in the whole Final Fantasy series, if not the hardest. It's super hard fight to do, even if you have max levels and max development.
I have to admit, even had issues with Seitengrat. It's a lot easier having Seitengrat. Even with Seitengrat, there were issues with that fight. It's pretty difficult. Which anthem are they singing?
Yeah, now we get to the Dracula laboratory, where we need to find Dr. Sid, who supposedly has the he supposedly has the Dawn Shard, or not Dawn Shard, Dusk Shard, or Midlight Shard. I'm not sure which one, but either way, one of the Netherite, so we are here to destroy it.
Here, Dracula Laboratory is probably one of my favorite places in the game, just because of the theme. Place alone, not really, because it's a maze, and it's probably the first place in a game where I actually had to get a guide to know where to go back when I first played the game, because I didn't know where to go.
Yeah, this area, you can see that the map is distorted. Well, it wasn't before, but now it is distorted.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter because we have the
overlay map,
which is an addition to the remaster version.
I don't know if that was an oversight.
It might have been.
It's just so weird.
I mean, they could have just they probably should have distorted that one as well.
They should have. There are some places with distortion in this game, but not too many. And even if with the remaster, just overlay map, and you're good to go.
Yeah, like the Feywood, for example, with the Maronite Farming, it's kind of sometimes can get confusing, but with the map, it's really easy.
Here is just going from one switch to another to open and close doors, so he can go the ways that he needs to go through, so he can reach the 70th floor to fight Sid.
It's convenient that you get these places where you can heal without having to worry about anything. So you get your HP filled while
you use the switch.
Yeah, without losing any time. So next fight is Dr. Sid. He has 4 rooks in the fight as well. Sid starts with really high defense, and the defense drops as you kill rooks. So we're gonna kill all the rooks first, and then Sid himself. Because there are the rooks, because the rooks are there, I'm just going to ignore, or not. I'm not gonna have Berserk go on right away. I will equip it once Sid is alone. There are also 2. There are 2 chests in this fight that I want to get: a Holy Mode and a Hastega Mode. I'm just gonna make sure my Bakusis one is ready so I can. Oh, I should also have this spell ready.
I don't enjoy those Japanese voices. So as soon as all the rooks die, Sid is preparing for an FMB attack, and he's gonna like walk back to the lower part of the area to do this attack. Bosch died.
Oh, where did my HP go? Or MP go? They probably...
Oh, by the way, battle speed slow.
Oh, that's right. That's why I was doing so bad.
Despite being a really powerful attack, this shouldn't do too much of a damage.
Yeah. Gotta love the Sid laugh.
This is probably the first time I heard TZA Sid Japanese. Great voice. And that's it, one.
More trophies. We are getting to the platinum. We are getting closer to the platinum, boys.
So we're in Valfenheim. Next big area of the game where we'll come back a lot for many reasons. First, after Sid, and Rickon also tell us there's something going on in Feywood. We're gonna go through Feywood, and then when we go through there, we find Guido Vegan and all the special things. But first, Zero's gonna do some menuing.
So I'm getting Katana 4. And... Oh, did I... Wait, oh. Okay, that's alright. That's... Okay. I can fix this, it's fine. Yeah, so I'm gonna get Heavy Armor 9 for girls, and then I'm gonna get Focus on Ash. Focus lets me deal 20% more damage when...
Whenever the HP is full.
Yeah, whenever a character's HP is full. I'm gonna get these 2 pieces of light armor to reach this battle lore, so I can reach the heavy armor 9 on Bosch's side. I'm gonna get Peleus on Bosch, and I'm gonna give focus for Bosch as well. And Penelo was short of the... Because Penelo died during... what's it called? Ahriman. I was not able to... I was not able to afford the license for Kuracha yet, but that can be fixed after Reflection. She doesn't need it by that anyway. So yeah, I bought new armor for my all my characters, except I didn't buy any for Penelope because I'm gonna find some in chest later. And I bought Kuracha, and as you can see, I've already spent 120k almost. But it's fine. This is the last shopping we're gonna do in the run.
All the other stuff that we need is findable in chests.
Buying 2 teleport stones here so I can do the final teleports. And not teleport to Still Shrine of Miriam this time. Damn. Going to Boromisei because that's our fastest way to get back to Feywood. And Feywood is the place where we fought Maronites, so now is the proper time to go there, so that might give a hint on how early we did them compared to where we were supposed to. So that's why they were such a good thing to farm. Again, the map is distorted, but yeah, with the overlay map, it's easy enough to find my way through. And, you know, this is also something I should know by heart, as I'm a vanilla runner.
I think we were in this place before.
Yes, that's true. That's that as well. I'm gonna Berserk Bosch for this fight. And Rafflesia, the gimmick here is that your MP will be training constantly, but that's fine because
that's
fight is fast enough.
Really fast.
Yeah.
And next screen you get the second and only other golden amulet that you need for this round.
Yeah, so the golden amulet is right over here.
So there's a little mini game here with these kind of pedestals, and we have to go towards the picture that looks like an oasis, which will lead us to the correct way, so we can continue. If we were just to run through, we would spawn again back at the beginning of the entrance, because this is some kind of puzzle-esque thing where you have to go the right way, and if you don't, you wouldn't unlock the actual path. If Zero wouldn't have gone the correct way here, the door would have been grayed out, and you could have only unlocked that door to this green kind of status if you would have gone the right way. And this is the only reason why we need Peleus in the entirety of the run, just to open this one single door. Now we are in Girovegan, and the next boss Daedalus will be in our way. And in this category, he's not that big of a threat. to Carcot us and having the effect to confuse our lovely enemy.
Golden Amulet. Equipping the second Golden Amulet on Bosch. And then I'm gonna get the Garacha on Benelo that I missed out on earlier. And I'm gonna change Benelo's healing gambit to Garacha. And that's the menu. So now I need to prepare Berserk for... I need to Berserk Bosch and I need to queue up Dispel. So because Daedalus is weak to confuse, this fight is really easy.
Yeah. And quick work with it.
With Berserker and Confuse, like there's like he just gets looped and can do nothing.
He's considered one of the worst fights in the magic route or in any other melee route that does not have to confuse in it, because he has an attack called Rage, which has a very big range and does a very big amount of damage. So that would make him one of the scariest fights in other categories, but here it's pretty easy.
Where are my Chronos stars? There we go.
So the basic concept of Gyrovagon here is just basically just run through this area, hit a couple of switches and just go forward. Just a lot of puzzling and walking around and killing on the way.
The enemies here hit really hard, so you don't want to get hit too much or you might die, as Ash did there. Waiting for Benalo to heal me there, and then I'm gonna run through this area. I can ignore that switch. As well as this switch.
The only switch that we need to hit is the one coming up right now. Oh no. That's not good.
That's fine.
Well, yeah.
I can just run with Ash.
Yeah.
Here you can see how good Berserker bracers are when I can just switch to Ash and roll with her.
Being able to, quote unquote, turn on and off Berserker on the fly is really something very convenient, very good. So the next fight is Tyrant.
Yes, and Tyrant also is vulnerable to Confuse, so that fight also is fairly easy. But he is much faster than Daedalus, so he can get moves off, and probably will.
And he does a lot more damage.
Yeah, that too.
You can also hit Graviga, which is percentage based on your HP. So we'll hope this fight will go good. So the gist is just to try and confuse him all the time without him trying to get moves off. That's dangerous. There we go. And that's Tyrant.
So yeah. So next dungeon is one of the most hated ones. I personally like it. I think it's a really cool dungeon, and it's one of it's an experience.
And I really love the theme of the dungeon.
Yeah, the music is really good, and It's
design is really...
It's really pretty, but it's also really confusing.
That's the most hated part of the dungeon because it's so confusing.
Yeah, I have this whole dungeon pretty much memorized, which is not an easy task. Many experienced players would still need a map go, especially in the non any percent parts of the
in
dungeon.
the deeper parts.
But I'm gonna pick up the gold hairpin. Gold hairpin gives you it's an accessory, or it's an armor for Penelo. So Penelo has more magic resistance.
A little fun fact to throw it in here. Ashes was petrified a second ago. So petrified, what probably a lot of people don't know is when you're petrified, every time the timer goes one tick down, meaning let's say you have 9 ticks remaining to be to turn into stone. What happens is you deal only 90% damage and only receive 90% damage. At the start, you deal 100% damage and receive 100% damage. Every tick down, you do and receive 10% less damage every time, which is actually a strat in Please Do 20% to take less damage from Hashmal, because he's a heavy hitter. But we don't really need it in Zodiac Age, so we just heal it right away. But just a little fun fact to throw it in there. So next fight is Shemazai.
Yeah, and I forgot the license. It's fine. Penelo will get magic armor, mystic armor 8, and Ash will get HP 100 190, and Bosch will get HP 350. I will optimize Penelo to get the new armor. And then enter the fight.
Ooh. Even more trophies. And that's Shemazai.
Yeah, that's Shemazai.
A lot of these bosses don't need a lot of explaining because it's just go ham on them.
Yeah, Shemazai can troll you though. His attacks can inflict disease, which is a horrible status ailment. It makes your current HP be your maximum HP. We might run into disease later, or we probably will, but I will explain. Well, you will see it in action better then. His spells also do a lot of damage, which is which can hurt, like you saw Penelo die there, or not Penelo, Ash. Ash died in that fight once, and like especially Flare. Like a shock can kill Penelo from full HP, I think, or at least very close to. I think it can kill her from full HP, and Flare just kills anyone from full HP, I think. Maybe Bosch can survive, because Bosch has a lot of HP by now, but I'm not sure. Either way, they hurt a lot. So now we go back to... We got the 3D blade, which is a blade we can use if we want to make more Nethicite for ourselves. So now Ash has to make a decision whether to fight the powerful weapons with powerful weapons, or whether to try to destroy the powerful weapons so that no one can use them. And so he has swords for both of them, pretty much. Either way, we need to go back to Balfonheim to report to Redas what we found in Gearwagon. And yeah, Redas will join our party as a guest. And Redas is pretty useful much more useful in TCA than he is in the original version. In the original version, all he does is attack. In TCA, he can also use various of items, and he has Arise. Arise raises you to full HP, or raises to death character to full HP, so that's really useful.
He also has Holy.
He also has Holy, but that's not used in this run.
Yeah.
But he also comes with some domain Calvadoses, which
And serums.
And serums, which are both very useful. But he also has gambits to use them. But I don't want him to use them. I want to decide myself when I want to use them. So I removed those gambits and I put the Arise gambit. Hold on, I also had another Arise gambit on the top, so he will revive whoever's dead before attacking. Also, he will use Gold Needles before attacking. He doesn't deal nearly as much damage as my Karga does, but he's still pretty decent DPS, better than Penelo at least. Penelo's main job is to heal. Redas will be like kind of a support character, and Ash and Bosch are just DPS.
Let's go to the quote-unquote final dungeon.
Yeah, this is the final big dungeon. There's a kind of a mini dungeon where the final bosses are, which is the point of no return.
Yeah.
But before that, this is like the last proper dungeon.
Last proper dungeon where you actually can go back and forth.
Yeah, but it's a long one. It's easily the longest dungeon of the run.
Definitely.
It has like 7 bosses or something like that.
They're really, like, with the design of this dungeon, they're really trying to hype up the final bosses, which they really succeeded at.
So here is Hydro. Hydro can be really annoying. He can be very dangerous if he uses Curse. Curse causes a lot of status ailments, including disease, but fortunately he can be confused, so
nice.
it makes it less likely. But he can, for example, start...
Oh,
there's
there we
Curse.
go.
So Curse inflicts disease and confuse. Fortunately, the damage dealers can't get confused because they have the Berserk, and Berserk makes you immune to confuse. But having your max HP at 1 is really bad. And as you can see, this hurts a lot. So I have to rely on this backup start of... Oh.
Should work. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but it's good salvaging.
Yeah, it's... Curse is super annoying. It's really awful. If I had a reflect... Like... for some reason, Hydro does not use Curse when you have Reflect on. And... so if I had an extra Reflect mode, I would use it just so that he won't do that. But yeah, it's really awful. But we got through it.
Here we kill chimeras to get these
yeah, we need
floating things called black orbs. We need for the 80% run we need 3 pieces.
Yeah, we need
them.
3 of them, and I'm turning. They will go away really fast, and it can be hard to sometimes interact with them. That's why I'm turning it to 1x speed whenever I have to pick one up. Because otherwise, I might... The orb might just fly away, and I will have to kill another enemy to get one. Fortunately, in TCA version, though, every single enemy you kill drops a black orb. So I don't have to do any shenanigans like in PS2, where I have to kill one enemy per room. This time I can just kill the 2 enemies on the first room to get the 2 black orbs I need for the first 2 pedestals, and then I can kill a 3rd one here. Or if I happen to kill 3 at the first time around, great.
So that's the 3rd one and the last one that we need.
The next fight is Pandemonium. The big thing about Pandemonium is that he can use perfect defense, which makes him immune to physical and magical attacks for 2 minutes. That of course is sped up by the 4 speed, so it's not actually 2 minutes. But either way, it's very annoying, and
since we don't like having perfect defense on an enemy, there's some, I don't know how it works, but the developers coded something into the game that if you use a rise on an enemy that has a thing coded in with perfect defense, if you double a rise that enemy with perfect defense, for some reason the perfect defense is going away. To this day, I have no idea why this works, but it just does, and we're happy for it that it does work.
I think it has to do with the hate. If any of your characters gets enough aggro, he will just do that. And this is one. Yes, it's annoying. He used Flash twice again already, so he's already he was bound defense to get the perfect defense off. You can confuse Loop. You can confuse. Oh, this is annoying. He's confused. Oh no, never mind. He isn't. There we go.
Yeah, you have to triple a rise to get it going.
So you can confuse loop him, but with blind, attacks miss so often that you can't really do it reliably. So if he uses blind or slow on you, then you're very unlikely to get the perfect defense skip. And yeah, it was not gonna happen when I got blinded 2 times, and it hits the entire party, and it's dumb, but it is what it is. It's RNG. You can't do much about it. Okay, so now I'm gonna touch this crystal to get my MP back, and I'm gonna do a small menu here. I get Penelo, the Sage's Ring. Sage's Ring I picked up earlier in Still Shrine. It's if you equip it, your MP cost halves for that character, so that's really useful. I'm gonna get this one, and then I'm gonna get Ash. Ash gets Great Church 1 and Heavy Armor 10. Heavy Armor 10 has the Dragon Armor, which I'm gonna find soon from chest, and Bosch will get some more HP. And we're actually done with Bosch's LP, or licenses. Nice. So now I'm going to give Sage's Ring to Penelo, and Ash and Penelo, or Ash and Bosch will get the Embroidered Tibbets to get a little bit more XP from this phase, or this thing. Because now we're heading to Brain Pants, and how this works is that there will be bridges missing from where I need to go, and to make those bridges appear, you need to kill Brain Pans. And every time you kill a Brain Pan, a segment of bridge will spawn. And once you have killed enough Brain Pans, you can enter the bridge and it will get solid. So you can see there's the 2 pieces of bridge missing there. I kill one appears, I kill another appears. Yeah. Later on there will also be enemies called Didars that look like Brain Pans, but instead of the green flame, they have red flame. And if you kill one of those while there's an active green bridge, they will consume one of those green pieces instead. But if there's nothing to consume, then they will form their own bridges to their two optional areas. But we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna ignore all the brain pans as we can. There's really only two places where it comes into play. And there's here's the Dragon Helm, which is a better piece of headgear for Ash. So I get that and then move on. So that's what I'm gonna be doing the next while. So if we have any donations, now would be a good time. All right, we can just keep the commentary going then. Yeah, let's just kill the brain pads.
Yeah. So additional to the Dragon Helm, Zero will get a Dragon Mail later on in the next part of the tower, which will be after the boss fight Slit. And we will get just a quick reminder, don't forget to reflect emote before Slit.
Yeah, we're getting the... You really need the reflect emote for one of the final fights. And if I happen to forget the reflect emote, I can't beat the final bosses. Or at least it will be dumb enough. I shouldn't forget it, but you know, if I do, I will have to go back for it. But if I don't realize that I miss it, then that's horrible. But yeah, here's the first Didar. I'm just gonna run past him and activate these other two. So this should activate the bridge. I'm gonna kill the other one, start the next bridge. The idea is that you're supposed to kill the Didar and then kill the extra brain pan to replace that Didar. But since we skipped the Didar, I can start the next bridge with that one to save a brain pan. So this next bridge needs 10 segments, but there are only 7 brain pans. So I have now 4 segments, but they will respawn, so I have to just wait for them to respawn. I forgot to spawn the one up there, but that's fine because I have some extra kills I can get. So I'm just gonna go through the brain pans and kill them. So now I need one more kill. Oh, this guy's still not here. There we go. So yeah, that's
onto the last
10 bridge, and now there's the last zone, and there's only one bridge here, which requires only 3 ones, but there are a lot of Didars around. But we can just kill these 2 brain pans at the start, ignore all the Didars, and kill one more brain pan to move on. And as you can see, even with the Sage's Ring, Penelo is running pretty low on HP or MP, so I definitely would need an elixir here without the Sage's Ring. Here's the last bridge, and now I can move on. That
finishes the brain pan section.
Yeah, now I can move on to the next boss. Next boss fight, and he's called Slit. And Slit is
annoying.
He doesn't hit that hard, or he hits. Well, he does hit pretty hard, but the big thing is that he can combo a lot, and that can get really dangerous. So he can easily kill characters. I'm gonna get that and this, and I'm gonna equip. Equip the Berserker Braces as well, and we're good to go. I Berserk Bosch. Yeah, Slit is weak to Confuse, but he's also really fast, so he can get through it. easy, so I have to watch out. As long as no one dies, this is an easy fight.
That was kind of perfect.
That was perfect fight.
That was one of the best lit fights I've ever seen in this category. Next to third ascent.
Yes, we get... No, second ascent.
Oh, second ascent.
So the second ascent, there's one... The gimmick is that you have to give up one of your powers. I'm giving up the map, the mini-map on the right, upper right corner. I still have my overlay map, so I don't...
What gives?
Yeah, like, I'm not really giving up anything.
That overlay map is way too overpowered.
Yeah, it's also the fastest way, so it's
convenient.
Yeah. The other options would be to give up my items, or attack command, or magics, I believe.
I think items or techniques were also a thing.
I don't think techniques is a thing.
I tried one of the things. I think it was items. No, that's like the second fastest by like 30 seconds or something.
So yeah, on my way to the next boss, I'm gonna pick up here an extra item, or extra armor called Dragon Mail. It's a little bit out of the way, but it's more defense for Ash and more damage Ash will be dealing, so... blind is annoying, but it doesn't matter because I'm not fighting it. Someone died.
And Dragon Mail. Second piece of armor. Striking this fake wall, and then continuing to the next area where we're going to fight Fenrir.
Yep.
Touching the crystal got everyone back. Then going forward to fight our fluffy friend. I think the gist of the fight is the same as probably every other fight. Just go ham
this
and
is really
try to do a
dangerous
lot of
though. This is actually dangerous because the opening his opening move is Wail, and Wail can deals a lot of damage, and it can inflict silence or blind, maybe both even. And if he gets wrong ailments on wrong characters, it can get really messy. And he's also not immune. He's immune to confuse, so you can't even do that.
Ooh.
And yeah, Penelo died here. That's really unfortunate.
And Redas is
And Redas is
silenced.
silenced, so...
Bad coincidence.
This is fine. Redas can still use an item.
Let's go, that's Fenrir.
Yep.
So next up is actual third ascent. And in third ascent we have a different kind of puzzle, a teleporter puzzle. We have to go to the correct places via teleport stones. Or teleporters, not teleport stones. And if we go wrong, the game is giving us kind of challenge, quote unquote, because we were mistaken for going the wrong way. But since we know the way, we will not see that place.
But first we need to get our super powerful map back, so that we can actually see where we're going again. So yeah, that activates the elevator, so we have to do that. I could live without the map for the rest of the run, but whatever. Yeah, we moved to the third ascent. Third ascent, there are a lot of kind of dangerous enemies, but it's short enough that I can just run past them no problem, or at least hopefully. There are also some traps. The traps are perhaps more dangerous than the enemies even, but it's usually fine. Let's go to active again. I touched that crystal to get MP for Benlo back. And now we are moving on.
Third Ascent can be really scary due to the bombs dealing a lot of damage when trying to having an explosion and really just doing a lot of damage to you.
If these guys decide to mass destruct, then it might be dangerous, but
also knockbacks are a thing in this game and they're terrible. Also instant attacks.
Yeah, we're past all the enemies now. And yeah, traps hurt.
And we're about to get the other weapon we were talking about early in the run.
Yes, the Ultima weapon for Ash. We'll finally get a weapon that's more powerful than Karkata. There it is.
So, next fight coming up is Hashmal. He can be quite a bit scary because he can inflict disease, and as we once stated before, disease is not something you really like in a run.
Yeah, he can disease as well. It can get really dangerous. Yeah, he also combos a lot and is powerful. I will dispel him from the start and let my characters go to work. But I have to be careful with the disease, so I have to have my serums ready. And I've basically been saving my serums up until this fight. Like this is the last fight as well, for which I need the serums.
No, talking about getting diseased.
No.
Oh god.
There we go.
Also, Hashmal is immune to confuse, as you might be able to tell.
Yes. There are no more enemies that are or you can confuse, so... Oh, I forgot to equip the thingy on Ash.
Oh, good lord.
And now he's diseased as well. Like, this is the problem with Hashmal, but it's fine.
He's one of the most dangerous fights in the run.
Oh, another Quake Cha. Really?
Unfortunate.
It's fine. Ash should kill him right after this, so it's fine.
There we go. He even showed the LP. So next up is a series of bosses. Garuda followed by the second fight of Sid, followed by the as per Famfrit. I think you're not gonna berserk for those fights.
I am.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah. So all the rest of the fights have a lot of FMV attacks, and I'm gonna do my best to skip most of them. So first is Gabrand. Gabrand has he starts with the protect, but it's fine. We just kill him before he has to do anything else. But after that, he uses well, after this cutscene, he uses a move called Guild, but if I use any kind of item before that, my characters can kill him before he can get it off, and it's one of those long FMV attacks.
I've not seen the full cutscene in Japanese before.
So I'm gonna High Potion Ash. Oh, Gabrand blocked too many times, so that's why he got this off after all, but it's fine. I blocked it anyway. That's Gabrand. So now we have Sid.
Sid is divided into two phases. In the first phase we fight him alone. In the second phase we fight him with Famfrit, and he quickly builds up a barrier around himself as soon as he summons Famfrit, and that barrier only goes away as soon as we kill Famfrit.
So now Famfrit has actually more HP than Sid has, so I have to change my gambits to full highest level. I'm also trying to get a Dispel Molotov before Sid's immunity goes off, so that oh right, I should remove the Berserker braces. Now Sid will keep rebuffing Famfrit, and as soon as he gets Protect off, I will dispel Famfrit again. But yeah, now here's Aquacha. It happens always at 50% HP, but it's fine. The biggest problem with it is that it can inflict silence, and if it's inflicted on Penelo, that could be really bad.
This looks not bad.
I will Dispel Mode again.
Nice.
Nice, I got him before a second.
Aquaja. That was
Yeah.
pretty good. Sid is considered one of the scariest fights in PS2, but here is not
Now
such a big of a threat.
And now that Famfrit is gone, this should be no problem. I will just give you back your bracers, and as soon as I get a chance, I will actually. You can just do the Bakusis wine on Bosch. Where are you? Oh, okay.
And that's it.
Yes, 2 done.
We're good on time.
I'm actually on a PP base.
Oh, that's really cool. On to Bahamut, the final boss rush of the
Yeah, and this is the last
game.
opportunity for any donations, if there are any. So yeah, the final bosses. There's really nothing. You have to mash a little bit text here, then a couple of cutscenes, and then I'm just gonna go straight there. Should be about 10 minutes from here to finish.
And probably the worst boss fight of the entirety of this category and this run is coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, like this is the fight I spent most of my time on when I practiced for this marathon, and I should, yeah, I think I found a way to do it consistently enough that I should be fine, especially with 3 bubble modes. I should be more than
Okay.
fine. But yeah. We will just go. No?
Don't have to know. So we enter Bahamut. Oh, if you didn't realize, the battleships in this game have been named after summons from previous Final Fantasy titles.
Yes. So I have 2 rooms of enemies to run through, and then 4 boss fights, and then that's the run. I will try to have Bravery and Berserk on every fight except for Vaynos, which for which I will try to have Haste and Bravery. Bosch will be Berserked at the start, but that's fine. This way. Damn, that's right.
Ooh, that was annoying.
Fine. This is fine.
A lot of try attack.
Yeah. Yeah, now we're about 10 levels under leveled, maybe 15 even. So let's start with the Phoenix down on Penelon. And then I'm gonna give Bravery on Bosch, and then let's go. So this is the fight I need Reflector mode on, because after this cutscene, he's going to use Renew on himself. But if I can get the Reflector mode in before that, the Renew will reflect on me, and he'll Bosch full HP instead of Gabranth. So I have to be fast. Okay, this is good. Reflector mode, then I do 1 attack.
Perfect.
And then I bubble mode myself. He gets Innocence off almost every time. But this is fine. Penelo has bubble mode, so she will survive this no matter what. And that's Gabranth.
That's the last time we see Gabranth, or well, we fight him last time.
Unless the incentive gets met. But yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I was fast enough. Yeah, Ash didn't get haste, but that's fine.
So the final 3 boss fights happening right now. First starting with quote-unquote the first evolution with normal Wayne. Pretty quick work. Very easy to do.
So I'm gonna, after this move, this cutscene, I'm gonna use Bravery on Ash. That will delay his. He will get stuck trying to do his big move. And then I will go far away from the other characters so that only Penelo will get hit by the AoE. After this, I'm gonna check my situation and act accordingly because I want to skip Force of Will as well. Okay. I'm just gonna use a high potion on myself and immediately because that's good.
That skips Force of Will.
Yeah. So.
And now the worst fight probably in the entire run.
Yes. So I'm gonna start by having Penelo cast Dispel Mode on Vayne Nose. I'm gonna remove the Berserker Braces. Boss will be Berserked and hitting the swords, but that's fine. Okay, that was a nice start. But now is where the fun begins. He has two big moves, Inviolable Will and Azure Vortis, or not Azure Vortis, Tree of Sephira. And I will try my best to skip both, but we'll see. I'll start with the spell mode. Or not both, but Tree of Sephira I will try to skip. And then I will rebubble. But I will delay him so that he's stuck a little while in the Inviolable Will state. And this will hurt, but not enough. So now I just try to keep alive, and I try to re-bravery everyone and haste Gamot, and before I get him to below 20%, where he will try to he'll try to use Tree of Sephira. No, stick him out. Let's see. Not enough damage, but I'm at full health, and so I should be able to tank this. And then kill. He will use Limit Break afterwards, but that's fine because I should be able to kill him before he gets another attack off. And then we should be on the final boss after that. Go.
And up to the final boss.
And fortunately there's a autosave before the final boss, so even if I die I don't have to do all the bosses again, only the final one. I will, first of all, I will do that. And Bosch will berserk himself, and then we'll go.
It's basically just going ham and trying to survive and trying to kill Undying before he can get anything off that would kill basically our entire party.
Okay, so now there's about a minute to the final time.
Time is as soon as the screen flashes on the final hit.
Yeah, so be ready on time. This will definitely be a PB.
Nice. And time. Good work. Good work. Very good run.
It's
very good run.
It's a PB by like 4 minutes.
That was a very good run.
It's underestimate. It's a Final Fantasy run that's underestimate.
Yeah! Underestimates!
Oh my god. No, that was an intense run.
And now to the meaty part. Did we meet the incentive? Yes or no?
Yes. So
Wings of My Own, final trophy.
all right. So in that case, I guess we're just gonna call it here.
Yeah.
So thanks very much for having us here. It was a pleasure. I did not expect to PB in this marathon, but I'll take it.
Do we want to shout out some people before we go? I think on my end, I would personally like Skate for a living. Without him, we probably wouldn't sit here today and be able to showcase TCA. He was basically the founder of what Final Fantasy XII Speedrun has become today. He has become the centerpiece, what brought us all together in the first place. Zero and I back then started learning FF12 when watching his runs and being very intrigued into what he has done. And I want to thank him a lot for what he has done and for the entire speedrunning community as a whole.
Yeah. Also shoutouts to Xafirov, or Xaf, who's the current world record holder of this category. He pushed this category very far, and his time is very close to 3 hours. And shoutouts to the whole FF12 community, really.
Yeah.
Like, it's an amazing community. We have a lot of fun, and they are the best people.
If you have any questions or if you would like to join, we have a Discord server where we are discussing strats and talking about the speedrun. And if you want to learn the speedrun, hit Zero or me up or any other FF12 runner. We would like to help out. We are always there for each other.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks very much for ESA for having us.
Thank you very much.
I'm very honored to be able to run finally on ESA.
That was also the first TCR showcase.
In a major marathon, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thank you all for being here. Have a good night.
Yes. See you later.